Good morning, happy Tuesday, folks. I'm actually running late right now, so I'll be doing my low Muhammad act of kindness as I am getting my boots on. So, my low is it took embarrassingly longer for me to try and find a March Madness bracket than it should have, but I got one. The only thing I need to do is I need to quickly look up who lost the play-in games last night. You know, like those, because there's 68 teams, but now it's officially down to 64, I believe. So I'll just quickly look that up, and then I'll be able to do my bracket from there. My high is, should I not have been able to find a March Madness bracket, I did have a backup plan for what today's video is going to be. I mean, not only, and the good thing is, not only is it a backup plan, but it actually is something that, since I have my March Madness bracket, I can save it for later. Probably on Saturday. For the life of me right now, I can't think of a reason why I needed to use it today. And my act of kindness was I took out the garbage for my folks, and I also emptied and filled their dishwasher. So, I just need to quickly look up one thing, and then I can get started with the March Madness bracket. And I can say March Madness because I'm not promoting or selling anything. Okay, so first four. It would seem that. Okay, so officially. Darn, I forgot my pen. One moment. So, of the two teams that, there's two games yesterday, and the teams that won were Alabama State, so they beat St. Francis, I can cross that one off, and UNC over San Diego State, so, okay. Alright. Now today it's Mount St. Mary's versus American and Xavier versus Texas. It would seem that I am unable to do the bracket today because I don't know who the last two teams are. How very interesting. I mean, who I think is going to win? You know what? I won't do it today. I'll do it tomorrow. I mean, it won't take me long to talk about The Masked Singer, which there's a new episode tonight. And plus, I can talk about my backup plan anyway. So, with all that being said, yesterday, a stand-up special from one of my all-time favorite comedians, Bert Kreischer, premiered on Netflix. It was titled Lucky, which makes sense for several reasons, one of which being it premiered the day after St. Patrick's Day, which is, you know, probably the one day of the year where a lot of people really do like to rely on luck, whether they know it or not. But also, well, for starters, if you're familiar with Bert Kreischer, you either like him or you don't. Personally, I like him. But also, And Bert Kreischer will say this himself. He really is the luckiest guy in the world. And he definitely does a good job of emphasizing just how lucky he is. Now, some people will probably hear Bert Kreischer's comedy and think of it as kind of standoffish and kind of, rude and annoying. Which, yeah, I'd be remiss if I didn't see that either. But it doesn't bother me because at the end of the day, he's very successful. He's able to make a living doing what he loves. And on top of that, he has one of the most contagious laughs I've ever heard. There was no shortage of laughs watching this special, by the way. Sorry, I have some mucus. I think I'm playing something in. Anyway, it's really hard to quantify just how objective comedy really can be. Because, again, what I find funny, that doesn't mean you would necessarily find it funny either, and vice versa. Again, Bert Kreischer, the guy is known to be on stage with his shirt off. You're either going to like that. If you see that, you're almost immediately going to form your opinion on him. And that's likely what it's going to be forever. Speaking of which, he did start the special by saying how he lost 45 pounds, which is good. Actually, here's what's funny. He gets on stage and all he has on top is like a suit jacket, no shirt underneath. He turns his back to the audience, which normally is a no-no when being in a theater. But it's one of those situations where it's okay because I don't know if he planned this or really just fell into the fact that he named his special Lucky. But he turns his back to the audience, slowly and seductively takes off the suit jacket, throws it up in the air, and it lands safely on the mic stand without falling to the floor. He either planned that or that's just really lucky. And again, he goes on with his shirt off and goes to town. He talked about how, again, he lost 45 pounds. He talked about how his name is Bert Kreischer and he finds lost things. He also finds lost people too. Again, I don't want to spoil any of these jokes, but trust me, these are good. And, Bert Kreischer's a family man with a wife and 2 daughters. And, of course he's written and, told jokes about them. Of course he has. But he also did a good job of at least trying to paint them in a good light. And in nowhere did he do that better than at the very end. His closer for the special, where he talked about how, for all intents and purposes, for all the jokes he's made about his wife and kids, they are his dream team. Again, I don't want to give away what happens because it's probably the most emotional I've ever seen Bert Kreischer while performing. I watch his Something's Funny podcast, and I'll catch him, on any other channel that he's on or whatever. And his personality is pretty much what you see is what you get. Like what you see on stage, almost exactly what you get in person. And he'll be honest. He'll be true. He'll be fair. And he'll say stuff that, a lot of people can relate to as well. But only a few times have I ever actually seen him like so emotional that he starts crying. Like good, happy tears. And that happened in the special yesterday. And it was all because, he had his family with him, his dream team. Now again, this is Bert Kreischer. So even in this scenario, even when he's telling this joke, he did tell funny things that, made the audience laugh. And this is something I always say. I said it once, I say it 1,000 times. Good comedy makes you laugh. Great comedy makes you laugh and think. Bert Kreischer is telling, for all intents and purposes, a really emotional story. Again, I'm not going to give away what it is. And he was also saying jokes during this story that a lesser person who wouldn't know that great comedy should make you think would believe, oh, what's he doing, like saying these jokes in an otherwise very somber, very, very important story that really does demand reverence and respect. Like, what is he doing here? Me personally, I'm listening to this joke, and I'm listening to the story about how his family is his dream team. That's all I'm going to give away about this joke, by the way. And, he's saying, like, these stories that actually circle back to stuff he said earlier in the special, too, by the way, which is another really great thing that he did during the special. But here I'm thinking, he's had his audience fully engaged in what's happening here. He's able to tell this very important story and tell jokes sprinkled throughout, some of which, again, harken back to things he said earlier during the special. And not only is the audience engaged, but they're laughing at it in a good way. And he even told some jokes about how, he'll even say himself, he's an idiot. I mean, he said this joke during the special, but it is something I've heard him say before, is that, and I kid you not, he said that he didn't know that, he thought Helen Keller and Anne Frank were the same people. He said that during the special, but that's actually part of an old bit of his. He then took it to another level when he talked about how his family took a trip to a certain very famous place, and he didn't know that said famous place was the same place as a certain empire, let's say. Again, it's really hard for me to talk about any of these jokes without giving too much away. It's something that I highly recommend you see. And again, Bert is able to keep his audience engaged and laughing. And again, that's what great comedy should make you. It should make you think about these sorts of things. It should also make you think other things as well, like how relatable some of these situations can be. I mean, I don't think you're going to be. I'm pretty sure not everyone is good at finding lost things. Lord knows that, back when I lived with my mom and dad, I could never find anything, but my mom was able to find it, instantly. Lord knows that, I literally once read a play that was The Diary of Anne Frank, so, yeah, I know that Helen Keller and Anne Frank are two totally different people. But, and for all intents and purposes, some of these situations you can argue you've heard before from other comedians. But it's the way that Bert Kreischer is able to tell a story, keep everybody engaged and laughing, that makes it all the more interesting. That's a real gift, and very difficult to do. There's a reason why Bert Kreischer's been doing this for, it's got to be close to 25 years that he's been doing stand-up. And he's able to make it work. This is the part where I didn't really want to talk about this, but I'm pretty sure anyone watching this has a very, very, very long list of celebrities that they want to meet. I know I do. Naturally, on mine, Bert Kreischer is one of them. I dare say he's at the very top. I doubt he's ever going to watch this. He's a busy guy, doing stand-up and being a family man, so it's highly unlikely he'd ever be, watching this. I could probably, tag his YouTube channel as well, because when you make YouTube titles, you can also, type in the, at and whatever channel you're referring to in Bert Kreischer's YouTube channel. I'll probably get, a whole bunch of views, but it is highly unlikely that Bert Kreischer himself would ever actually, contact me, of all people. Don't get me wrong, it'd be cool if he did. If after this video I wind up meeting Bert Kreischer, having essentially given the man his flowers for how great of a special it was, and I wind up actually talking to him and then meeting him, no one would be more shocked or happy than I would. So, Bert Kreischer, you killed it once again. You had me laughing. You had me feeling some really powerful feels, and you once again proved that you are a great storyteller, and that there is a reason why you've been doing this for as long as you have. And to that I say thank you. Again, I doubt you're ever going to see this, but I hope this finds you well. Love the Something's Burning podcast. He's got Something's Burning podcast. He's got the Birdcast. He's got Two Bears, One Cave with Tom Segura, which he also mentioned in the special yesterday. I'm not going to say where. If you have Netflix, I implore you to watch this special. Because whether you like Bert Kreischer or not, you gotta pay the devil his due. He's funny, he can be relatable, and as he would say himself, he really is the luckiest guy in the world. And a lot of people, including myself, are incredibly lucky that there are comedians like him out there who can make us laugh, but also think. So thank you, Bert Kreischer. I hope you'll like this video. If you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very home in this video for all of you guys watching Joe Rename. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Oh, happy hump day, folks. And remember, if you guys want to talk, our channel is going to be here to lend you. Always here back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.